Liverpool versus Manchester City this Sunday. This is a title decider. Don't let anybody even come and lie to you and say, there are still about 14 games to play. No. If Man City were to go ahead and lose this game, the title is finished. Finito. Give it to Arsenal already. Yes. And don't forget, Man City have not won at Anfield since 2021. That's about 5 years. Anytime they go to Anfield, is either they lose or they manage to scrape out a draw. And with this Pep Guardiola's defense, I'm sure Arsenal players and fans, they're licking their lips. All Arsenal fans are licking their lips, hoping that this is the match week 25, that Man City will hand over the title to them. And rival fans must be seething right now, praying that Man City should go and thrash Liverpool. And don't forget, this is not the Liverpool that Manchester City played earlier on in the season when they thrashed them at the Etihad Stadium. This is not that same Liverpool. This is a rejuvenated Liverpool side. Because that Liverpool then, they were seeing something more than heavy flow. Yes, they were. This is a Liverpool. Yes, it's still the same old Anslot. He does his own thing. But then again, they have their players back now. And they're picking up some form. Mo Salah is back. Florian Wirtz has actually picked up a number of form. He's actually picked up some form. In the last couple of games, he's actually scoring and assisting. Konate is back too. Yes, unfortunately, he lost his dad. So, of course, condolences to him. So, yeah, this match week 25 between Liverpool and Manchester City is going to be a huge one. Now, of course, Pep Guardiola has picked up a number of wins. He has made it to the Carabao Cup finals, which, of course, you'll be facing Arsenal. But everybody's focus now is back to the league. And yes, they're also in all competitions. Manchester City have Omar Mamouche firing, Semenyo firing. A couple of their players have been on it. Ryan Cherky is on it. Tijani Reinders is on it. Phil Foden in the last couple of games, to be honest, he has not showed up. Let's just call it speed what it is. He has just not showed up. Erling Haaland as well, I don't know, he's having some bit of goal drought. The robot is malfunctioning right now. The robot is malfunctioning. But of course, we know Erling Haaland. On his day, give him 1-2 balls. If he score, he will bust everywhere. I still believe at the end of the season, he will still be the Premier League's top goal scorer. But he has some serious competition now. Semenyo, two teammates, everybody trying to get the goals in. At the end of the day, though, it's still going to favor the club overall. But for individual accolades, I'm sure Erling Haaland will want to be that main man. And of course, there are a number of City fans that are clamoring for Omar Mamouche to start over Haaland. I think it's a very dumb move. Overall, you cannot so much as rely on Omar Mamouche. Yes, he did score that brace, against what are these people called? Against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup semi-final at the Etihad. But those were it's Newcastle, and Newcastle were missing a number of key players in that matchup. And the way they set up against Man City at the Etihad, I think it was a little bit naive from Eddie Howe and his men to go to the Etihad and try to play defensive. And Liverpool also. Liverpool have actually picked up a number of form. I think in their last 5 matches, in the Premier League, their form is actually not looking good. They've had 3 draws, 1 loss, and 1 win, this is kind of poor. But of course, overall in all competitions, they've been doing quite well, especially in the Champions League. They've also automatically qualified for the round of 16, so that should actually do something for their confidence. And of course, to relieve them of those 2 extra matchups they will need to play, to qualify for the round of 16. And in this particular matchup, I actually see Liverpool battling it out with Manchester City, because don't forget, the top 4 race is heating up. And both Chelsea, Manchester United, and Liverpool, every single one of those clubs is vying for that top 4 position. Of course, granted, at the end of the day, maybe the 5th position might make it to the Champions League next season. But one person is definitely going to miss out. And so because of that, forget banter aside, forget rivalry. Liverpool saying they don't want Arsenal to win the title, but you have to choose at this point, because it's either you choose to fight for your top four, or you jones yourself and you end up missing out on Champions League football. Now it's only a mumu that will want to shoot himself in the leg just so that the neighbor will bleed. At this point, it's answer your father's name. You can go ahead and lose to Manchester City, and Arsenal will go ahead and win all their games, or just lose one and still win the title, and you miss out on Champions League. At the end of the day, what have you done? Even Tottenham Hotspur, that are Arsenal's die-hard rivals, they pulled off the unthinkable against Manchester City last week, coming back from a 2-goal deficit to end that game in a 2-all draw. So I see this being an all-out battle between Manchester City and Liverpool. Now, both teams have this very, very shaky defensive lineup. But of course, I must give it to Liverpool. Their defensive line is a bit better than that Manchester City's backline. That Manchester City's backline is like a belly dancer. It's so shaky. It's so shaky at the back. Like, you can put a belly dancer, put Manchester City's backline like this, and you see Manchester City's backline shaking much more than the belly dancer. That is exactly how their defense is. Yes, granted, they brought in McGahey from Crystal Palace, and he has added some bit of defensive solidity to that City's backline, but it's not enough, because their fullbacks are not at it at all. If they come up against a very good team, those fullbacks are just passengers in that team. They're not like the fullbacks of Manchester City, of old, that have come to win titles, back-to-back titles, and even gone ahead to win the treble. Likes of Kai Walker, Akanji, Ake, with Stones and Diaz in the centre-back positions. This back line with O'Reilly, with Matheus Nunes in the right back, with Kusanov. I honestly do not see this team surviving it at Anfield. Yes, the attack may be firing, but this is not a game of basketball. This is football. This is football, and in football, you need to ensure that you are defensively solid. That as much as you score your opponent, you need to prevent them from scoring you. Because don't forget, you're going to Anfield, and Anfield, yes, on paper, Anfield is a very difficult place. As a matter of fact, Anfield has always been a very difficult ground for any team, regardless of your form, to go to. So for Manchester City going to Anfield with this type of defensive makeup, I fear the title race will be over match week 25. Because if Arsenal are to go ahead and win their game against Sunderland, and Manchester City, for any reason, drop points, either by pulling off a draw or losing at Anfield, we can just wrap the title goodbye. Mathematically, it will not yet be over. But realistically or practically, with this Arsenal's defense and the way they've been performing, we can just say adios, sayonara, see you later. Okay. So this is a very, very crucial matchup. As a matter of fact, this is a title decider for Pep Guardiola and his men. And of course, for Ancelotti, yes, he goes around saying it doesn't matter if you win titles, all that matters is you play entertaining football. Oh, God, who are you trying to fool? We know what you're trying to do. Because you have no hope of winning the Premier League again. You're clearly out of that. In fact, as a matter of fact, what you're battling for now is top 4 or top 5, as the case may be. So don't come here and try and gaslight us and say it's better you play beautiful and entertaining football for fans than winning trophy. Who you think say be mumu here? Like, what kind of statement is that? Think we don't know what we're doing here? Okay, so let's say last season now that you won the Premier League, you're trying to tell us that you would prefer to take playing well, entertaining football over winning that Premier League title, right? That's what you're trying to tell us. I mean, think we don't have sense? Because who gets to remember entertaining football? You play entertaining football. At the end of the day, if you don't win anything, nobody remembers you. What people remember you for are the accolades, are the titles, are the rewards. Fans don't care about it. Entertaining football is only for that particular match day. As a matter of fact, it's only as important as the people watching it live. Once we are done watching that game, that is all. We don't remember that again. What we remember is, did you take the 3 points? Did you or did you get totally totally outplayed on the day? Because if you don't have the 3 points, if you don't win the title, nobody remembers you, no matter how great you are. As a matter of fact, you do not win any individual award. by saying he played well. If you like, score all the number of goals you like. If you don't win any title, nobody is going to award you. People don't win Ballon d'Or simply because they played good football. No, you can play good football. If your team does not win accolades, nobody remembers you. So abeg, don't come and tell us that kind of mumu thing na. You understand? Simply because you are out of it does not mean that you try and downplay it. Just as how people who crash out of the Carabao Cup will say it's not really important, it's a beer cup, it's a team pot, we don't really care about it, that's why we didn't field our best 11. The club that are saying that thing, they know themselves. They will say something like that, yeah, their players will be crying after the match because they crashed out. I did not call any club. I did not call any club. So in any case, let me know what your thoughts are for this particular matchup. Do you think this is going to be the end? Of course, not mathematically. But do you think that after this weekend, should Manchester City lose at Anfield, should we just wrap up the league and give it to Arsenal and say, you guys, you guys are the number one. We surrender everything to you. Or do you think this title race is a lot more twists and turns to come? Don't forget, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Like the video, share this with a friend. We've been doing very awesome things. Big shout out to all our subscribers and all those who have been supporting this channel. We are well over 100 subscribers. Our target for this week is 200 subscribers, and I believe we're going to hit that number with you and you and you. So it was a solid. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with a friend, let them see, let them know, let them come and join this community because we'll do awesome things. And I'll see you in the next video.